Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me Cory, and for today's video, I would like to do a pen and inks March pen and inks report. So it's like a progress report or yeah, reviews of the pen I had inked last March or the last pens that I've inked. So this is highly inspired by Karina Loves to Plan, and I've seen this first with Chris Sain's channel, and she does this very thorough pens and inks reports. She has a huge collection of inks and pens. So initially, I was hesitant to do it because I only have a few, and you might see it all the time and repeatedly each year, each month. But it is just for me, for the record, that how I found the pen while using it, the comfort, it's the ink, the combination, and so if I didn't like it, I would not repeat the same combination again, or that if I want to let go of the pen, and that's how I scored them. So it's a bit of combination of Karina and Chris Saints methods. Like Karina's always encouraged, like if you don't love it anymore or you don't find grabbing it, you can sell it. So I have this sepangs separation anxiety with my pens. I cannot just let them go because they all have meanings. That's why I bought them. So yeah, I braved myself and I will do this. It's not gonna be monthly, maybe quarterly, or as soon as my pens, ink pens are finished. So I repurposed this journal. This was my reading journal. It's a blank Hobonichi notebook released maybe, sorry for the glare, released maybe from 2022 or 21. I'm not sure, but yeah, this was my reading journal, and I've used it a few pages. I've read and I haven't make my reviews, so I don't like to put it to waste because I've transferred my reading journal in my Starbucks passport size traveler's notebook. So this is where I will start my March currently inked. So I have just transferred the pens that I have inked last March from this log. I'm still gonna use this because it's handy. I can slip it anywhere, but I have put the same details here and side by side where I can score them. Okay, like this is the scorecard and this was the pen and ink combination. So yeah, from January to March, I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 inks used. But to be precise with the pens, I used 12 because the Kaweco brass are I used it with the same with Lanbitao when I was doing the this or that. So this ink has 2 pens with it. So total of 12 pens and 11 inks. So let's just proceed with the scoring, the grading. So let's do it briefly. So these are my 11 or 12. Oh, there's a pen here. Pens from March, ink pens, except for this, it's together. It's the same ink that are mostly finishing off, except for this one that is new. These two. These are still newly inked. But let's check the ink status because I've used it so much as well. So let's grade them as per the criteria, the general criteria of everyone, which is the can you see it, guys? Can you still see it? Yep. The ink rating, the flow of the ink, the comfort level, and that's just the overall conclusion between the combination of these two pen and inks. Okay, so let's begin with the first pen, which is the Kaweco brass. So for the Kaweco brass, I've had a tough one with this because for the Kaweco, let's just scoot you in here, zoom in, and hope you can see it clearly. I'm gonna write them as I grade them, so you will know, or somehow you get the idea why I don't like it anymore or why is the grade like that. So as you can see, the Kaweco still have in a cartridge a little bit of the Sailor Tea Time Fika ink. Okay, so since this is the scorecard moment, the scoring, I'm gonna rate this as 10 being the highest. And so this is the first pen, yeah. And ink flow is 5 with this pen. I mean the ink overall in this combination, and the flow as well is, I'm gonna score it with 5. This is a EF nib, but the comfort, it's just normal brass, bit weight heavy, so it's just an 8 because I'm already used to it. But overall my score with this is the pen and ink combo, it's a bit on a dry side, scratchier than I thought, and skipping. As you can see, there was still an ink inside, so might be that there's a problem with the nib. I need to, you know, put that brass thing in the middle. I have to thoroughly clean this. It's been a while, it's not also cleaned up. So yeah, that's the reason why it's just an 8. So sorry about that, there's a change of lighting, my phone memory is full. So yeah, so I scored this as 5 for ink, flow is 5 also, and 8 for the comfort. So it's 5 because the ink, it's EF, the ink doesn't really show its characteristics. The Fika, it is a beautiful ink from Sailor, but it's not showing with this pen. So let's give it a bit of justice here with the ink. So let's say that there is a problem with the nib on that. Let us try it with this pen, the dupe of the brass, so the Lanbito 3062. I'm really surprised with this pen because it's a good one, good buy. So this, I will consider this as our second ink pen, and the ink flow is 8. The ink on this is 8. The flow of the ink, I would say 9, very wet. And the comfort, it's not as heavy as the brass, but there is a weight on it, so it's not also like a plastic cheapy feel. Let's say 7, so it's not that comfortable as well. So overall, this pen really is worth it, or just say worth to try. It's my first brand, Lanbito, and yeah, I've added this in the only Chinese in the lineup. I've had the Jinhao 82, but I've gifted it to my friends. So from March ink pens, it was there, and now it's not included anymore. So I've added this so far, this when I do the this or that for this pen. So moving on to our third pen, which is the Narwhal, but second ink. It has the Robert Oster Cafe Crema. So let's see how this. I've inked it since January, and I've used it fairly. So it's almost, you know, half or 1/4. No, it's not one even. It still has, because it's carrying a lot of ink. This capacity, it's a piston fill. It's one of my go-to pen from Narwhal. So this is the third pen, and I'd say the ink on this, the Robert Oster, behaved so well, so I'd score it as a 9 for this pen, this combination. For the flow, I'd say 7. It's still, sometimes there is still a bit of skipping, but the ink gradient, the toning of the inks is really showing in this fine nib of Narwhal. The comfort, it's very comfortable, so I just say the size as well, I don't need to post it, it's okay, so I rate it as 9. It's my first time to rate my pens, guys, so it's a bit exciting. Let's see in the next coming months. So yeah, this Narwhal pen matches the Robert Oster ink so well compared to my custom 823. So the flow and the smoothness is almost perfect. I'd say almost because let's just say there's sometimes a hard start, but that's provided for every some nibs. So yeah, that's a 9 for me for the comfort. 7979. Okay, so this is the Narwhal. Fourth is our Lamy 2000. So like I've always said, this is my workhorse pen. It has the pilot Irisuku Chukiyo. It's so difficult when I have this colds. Anyway, let's see. It still has an ink so far in the ink window. You can still see that. Yeah. So this is like an ink checkup. So I've inked it last March. This is our fourth pen. The ink flow overall with this Lamy, I haven't matched it with other inks. So yeah, this is the first time we rate it, but we cannot compare because I've only used this ink for this pen. So the ink is, I'd say, perfect. Do you also score perfect, guys, or rarely? And then flow, I'd say there was never, okay, let's just say 9. Comfort is also 9. So I think so this combination is really good. Yeah, so the Lamy writes so good with, I don't have a Lamy ink yet. Maybe I have a swatch, but I want to try also how is it. The nib is super smooth. Sorry about my handwriting. This is what you do if it's a real time. So yeah, I love it. Almost perfect. Now I understand why everybody is into this pen. Most probably you will not see this in my next ink pens because I will change my game plan a bit with my pens. So yeah, that's the scoring. And obviously the fifth one on our pens is the Pilot Vanishing Point Matte Black. It's in fine nib. Okay, I've inked this with the Diatramentis Black, so let's just rate it this time. Ink flow, since it's a fine, let's say it's an 8 because sometimes you need to put more pressure for it to come out. Flow, yeah, 7. And comfort, 9. Okay, so VP is my most go-to pen. Reliable, no hard start, little to no scratchiness, the scratch or feedback, dries up quick. Yeah, so again, my black workhorse pen, the Vanishing Point. So it's a 8 because it's just a black, so I don't really know how to describe maybe how it's water resistant with highlighters and tumbles. So it's good. Flow is 7. Like I said, sometimes in a different paper it's not fully, but most of the time it's just flowing normally, and it holds also a good amount of ink. This is cartridge only, I think. Yeah, I don't put the converter. Like I said, converter pilots is not my favorite. Okay, so I will also put my other black, or I will use another workhorse pen next month. So I'll put this Lamy and Vanishing Point to rest for a bit. Sixth is the Sailor Pro Gear Slim Manu Nuts. So this is ink with the Peter Moss, and let's see, Ferris Wheel Peter Moss. It's a fine nib and 14 karat nib, and see, it's from March. And sorry, the tripod. It's already almost gone. So that's why we need to do this report. It's a good idea. I can have it checked and write the comments there. So our sixth pen is the Sailor Nuts. And for the ink characteristics showing in this, I'd say a 9. It still shows the color and the the main, like the Ferris wheel signature. But yeah, because it's just a 5, maybe when it's more bolder nib it will show more. Flow is again normal Sailor, I'd say 9. And no skipping, no hard start. Comfort, obviously it's a 9, let's say all 9, just because I like the Pro Gear regular size more, but the price doesn't like me. So this combination is good, even though it's not a Sailor ink. So there is no hard start. Okay, what else? No skipping. A bit of feedback, which is normal for Sailor. So again, another very pretty pen. Okay, so it's almost finished, and I'm glad that we made this before it's gone, fully gone. Okay, and next is the Ferris Wheel Press Kaweco Sage. Okay, so this is the pen, was also inked last March, and let's check it out for ink status. Gone. So let's spray, guys. I'm gonna push a bit more. I hope some inks will come out for this little scoring. So this is the 7th pen. Oh, good. I love, again, this pen also never tried other inks, so it's the first time we rate it. And yeah, let's just compare it next time when we have other inks to compare. Okay, so for the ink, it's Urban and it's showing. By the way, I've used the same ink when I prepared this page. So there's the shimmer. So I'd say it's also a 9. The flow, this pen is also good one, because obviously of the price as well. But underrated, but it's a good one. So I'd say flow is 8, just because it's the shimmer, the Jack Urban Vert Atlantide, and it's sometimes, there's skipping or a hard start because of the shimmer. So you need just to what do you call that, like when you start a car, you need to I forgot the word. Anyway, yeah, you just have to condition it. Okay, so comfort, just a 7, because of this. I don't understand, it doesn't rest well here, and I feel a bit of pain when writing for longer writing. So yeah, Ferris Wheel, my one and only Ferris Wheel fountain pen, is good with this Urban combo. No issues. The ink showing beautifully. We'll try other combo to know next time. Okay, so in our next rotation, if this ever appears, remind me not to use the same ink. This is just for my shimmer inks. Okay, and Benu for our next pen. So my Robert Oster lived with this pen because it's not good with other pens like my 823. They are not a good pair. So this is my Benu with Robert Oster African Gold. So let's check it out. Oh wait, let's see the ink first. So if you have seen my other video, also almost finished. I'm just put something, pushing it a bit. If you've seen my other video, it's where I use these pens, so I don't write it like just to finish them. They are all purposely used in my journals. So if they're not finished in this month, so it carries on the next month, not just to put new pens, adding more. I'm just sticking to whatever. So if I have a March ink pens and I don't have an April one, meaning my March pens are still there, I'm utilizing it until the end. So I don't have the time to write notebooks, so That's why I have to just do it as I do my journals. So for the ink on this one, it's really showing beautifully. I'd score it 9. And then for the flow with Benu, there's no issues at all. It's a 10. And for the comfort, it's a large pen, but it's a good writer to me. I mean, I think because of the nib and this pen, the feed, my fingers can rest. I have a long nails, so it's good as well. It's 9 just because it's a bit big, but overall the comfort is good. Robert Oster is almost the perfect match. So these notes, guys, don't mind my writing because it's just for my own. But yeah, I'm just reading what I'm just talking what I'm writing. Hope it makes sense. So yeah, the ink flows so well, showing off the beauty of the colors. Okay, so yeah, Benu has found a good match, but maybe in the next lineup, let's see where my Robert Oster can also sit, can be paired. We are almost there now. The Kaweco Sports Olive Green. So this was also part of my March ink pens, and let's check. Yeah. Oh, still a few. It's inked with Pilot Inhouse. It's past half, so this might not survive until the next month. I have a week left for April, so I think this will be finished as well. So the 9th pen, Kaweco. The ink flow on this, because it's Pilot, it's irreversible line, it's wet, so the ink is coming off nicely. Flow, it's also, let's say the flow, because Kaweco EF, oh yeah, this is EF, say 8, just because Kaweco sometimes they have hard starts. I'm sure you can relate. And the comfort, Kaweco, because I have small hands, it's an 8. Again, like I said, the Pro Gear regular size Sailor is my perfect size, so yeah, I'm just scoring this as 8. So this is the Kaweco candidate for us. Kaweco Sport Olive with Inhouse is a good ink match, although the wetness makes it a smooth writer or writing, whatever. So guys, my own wordings here, don't quote me. I'm still starting the scorecard. I might learn more along the way, so yeah, no judging. Just comment for more improvement, but no harsh. Yeah, so this is the Kaweco, almost finished as well. Next is our Sailor Pro Gear Slim Mini Mustard in medium fine with the Shikiori Tokiwamatsu, my battle ink, my favorite Sailor Shikiori. Okay, so like I said, this is one of my favorite pens to write, and this combination, I think I've always used that, but let's just compare it next time with other inks. So there is no issues, and the ink color also shows off so well. So yeah, this is the Sailor Pro Gear Slim Mini, the mustard one. Okay, now for our 2 pens that were recently added in my collection, because they were bought between March and mid-March and April. This is the Kaweco Sage. The only issue with this Sage among all my other Kaweco is I think there is a problem with the cap, because I need to push harder compared to my other Kaweco. So I have more like 10. So I know that there's something wrong with the cap, you know. Anyway, we are here to rate the ink flow and the comfort level. So this is the 11th pen. This also is a surprisingly good nib, because Kaweco is like that, hit or miss. But with this pen that I got is an F. The ink is showing very good. It's the Shikiori Rikyucha. However, on this pen, sorry, the Rikyucha is very dark and black, almost black. I can hardly see uh, the green tone of it. So I'd say it's a 8, perhaps. I'm not sure why, but I've tried the Rikyucha with other pens. It's really green, guys, and this is also a Hobonichi paper, so not sure what's happening. But the flow is okay. It's let's say 8 as well, because Kaweco again, sometimes hard start if you don't use that for long. And the comfort, like the other Kaweco, where is that? It's 8. So this is the 888. So the newest Kaweco Sage is wet. This is a sailor, and it's supposed to be a drier ink. Is a wet writer with this sailor Shikiori ink. I know if it's pilot, it feels like writing a pilot, but this is a sailor. It's supposed to be a drier ink. So yeah, so this pen is a wet writer. See, I have to pull it so hard. Okay. Lastly, in our March currently inked or up to date is my classic Revolve Y Studio all brass pen. Okay, so perfect. 12 pens to rate. To be honest, this is my new favorite in this lineup. So I've used it more than anything else in my planners and journals. So I've explored this pen recently. Ink flow for this Noodler's Aircorp Blue Black. It's just a sample ink, and I'm planning to buy the bottle. It's really, really good color, and it's the blue black that I really love. Not so dark, not so black, but it still has the tone of blue greens, you know. So I'd say 9. The flow on this, even though it's a brass, it's very different with my Kaweco. I'd say it's a 10. Comfort, it's heavy, but it's slim, and it's like writing, you know, in your Uniball or Jetstream. So I'd be biased. I'd give it a 9. It's okay. So this all brass pen is surprisingly very comfortable to write with. I'm not a doctor, but I write like a doctor, as you know. Write with, and this ink is perfect. I want to try it after this is finished and it's again in the rotation. I want to try it with a bit sailor ink, if it's still like this flow, or it will become like a brass Kaweco brass that eventually it's getting, you know, skipping and stuff. So yeah, I think that's it, guys, for our 12 ink pens. So let's have a final look of our 12 inks for this March, April. As you can see, these are my colors. And let's change the game by April, May, second quarter. And my scorecard here. Can you believe it's not dried yet? The Sailor Fika in the Lanbito. But yeah, so this will serve as my guide whenever I want to use these pens and these inks again in the rotation. Okay, so I've repurposed this notebook, and yeah, it has a good amount of page. So this is March. It might not be monthly, as long as when my pens are finished, I'm gonna score them immediately. So thank you so much for Ken Lau, and Karina Loves to Plan, Karina and Chris Saints, for the idea. Perhaps having this kind of documentation on my pens, I would be more aware, and because I have a lot of fountain pens and I don't really get to know them, each and every pen. After I ink, I change, I rotate, so at least there is a story in every combination that I choose. So it's a good thing. It's a good habit, and if I see like, oh, this pen, I don't really like it anymore, perhaps by then, that time I will, and I can have the heart to let go of them. Let's see how my bravery can come until where. But if you're like me, you love to collect pens, and I do have 50 plus by now, 60 and more coming. It's a good way to really get to know the pens. Yes, maximum for me is or 12 in a month that I inked. I really tried 10, but it's difficult, especially if you have new pens coming and you're just so excited to ink them. So yeah, I hope if you're also gonna do this, let me know. And if you have any more ideas on what notes to write aside from what I'm writing now as a beginner, please do comment down below. And I want to thank you so much for your time and spending with me. And yeah, I hope you like and subscribe to my channel and for more videos as such. And thank you so much for dropping by, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye!